Welcome back. Still watching Business Incorporated right here on Channels Television. Let's head to the crypto space and see what's going on there. Looking at the board, I see some red. It's a mixture of color. Well, I guess on a typical Friday, you would have more red. So this is not so typical because we see Ethereum is in the green while Bitcoin is in the red. I wonder why. I hope Olumide Additional can help us explain that. But BTC has dropped more than 1% in the last 1 hour, 67,000, just about 67,000. Ethereum, however, gained, we see a 0.41%, 3,515. And Solana, XRP, Cardano, their typical Friday trade. Now, let's have Olumide Additional. I know that the shift in the proposed date of of interest rate cuts in the United States has affected the market a whole lot. You know, it was supposed to be September. Now it's probably December. So if it's not December, that means in 2024 the United States will not have any interest rate cut, even though Bank of Canada has done it. We've seen the European Central Bank also. They've done it also, but I guess the US would not be pressured into cutting rate. But let's have Olumide Additional now share his thoughts on this. Hi, Olumide. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. So just looking at the board, you know, one would think that most of the time you see same sentiment for BTC and Ethereum, but it's opposite here. What's going on? We see that BTC dropped while Ethereum is still positive.
Yeah, Ethereum is at the support level right now, primarily because of the optics around ETF's approval. The US SEC administration under Gary Gensler has affirmed that an S1 approval will likely come much later. So that has maintained the holding power. But for the week, it's been a moderated inflow of funds into the crypto market, and primarily because the appetite for risk watered down when the US Fed chief highlighted that they will keep holding rates longer than what the market projected early this year. You recall that anticipation was that the US Fed will cut interest rates at least 3 times. Now it looks like one is just in the works. So that has really moderated the appetite for risk, and we saw Bitcoin breaking below the 70,000 support, and it has been ranging ever since between 66 and 68,000. So primarily, what we are seeing from the market price action is that ETFs inflows has also moderated, unlike what we saw in March and April. And so primarily, that's why the market is looking the way it is. But Ethereum definitely has maintained support because of the optics around ETF's approval.
So at this rate, I wonder what's going to happen to BTC, especially because we first moved, I think we moved from April to June, from June to September, now to December, obviously the last month in the year. So if there's any shift now, we're talking about 2025. How do you think this is going to affect price action?
I think ETFs was the game changer in 2024. You recall that Bitcoin hit its all-time high in March 13 when it broke 73,000 resistance. But, you know, election, the war in Israel, the battle between Israel and Hamas also, then the far-right movement in Europe, swing, that has created some form of geopolitical concern. So apart from the United States economy that looks to be showing stellar gains from economic data, you can't see that in other markets. So caution is still being played. But generally, it's been a bull year for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has almost seen triple digit return. And, you know, going to the other half of the year, I don't think we're going to have that, except we see a President Trump in November, because he seems to be more crypto friendly than the incumbents. But generally, I think if Bitcoin can break the 70,000 in the next couple of weeks, we should be looking at the 60,000 support level. And if that refuses to hold water, then we might go back to the 55,000.
And that expected boom post-halving is going to happen.
Yeah, but the expected bull rally after the Bitcoin halving, I think it's already in play. But you also need to understand the dynamics in the market right now. The appetite for the US dollar has just recently got amplified. And you know that there's a diverse correlation between appetite for risk and even currency. So as long as the US Fed keeps interest rates at such elevated, there will be little incentives for investors to invest in risk. And that's why you saw Bitcoin really struggling this week, despite the fact it hit 70,000 early last week.
All right. Have you checked the fair greed index recently today?
Yeah, it's been mild, but it's just been mild. But like I said earlier, reiterated that the hawkish narrative of the U.S. Fed led substantial amount of liquidation. For the week, short sellers have lost about $600 million. So that's why you're seeing the market a bit quiet right now as we speak. So I think, except we see exciting pause in the space, the market might be quiet for a while.
Olumide Adesina, thank you so much for that. And I think, yeah, they tell me the market is greedy at this time for fair greed index. I wonder how this will head into the weekend. But thank you so much, Olumide Adesina.
Yeah, thank you very much.